Hello YouTube, this video is a review of a tea light candle heater that I've made. I watched a bunch of videos before I made this. A major mistake that a lot of people make is they don't put any holes in the top of their outer pot, and it really makes a huge difference as far as the heat being drawn towards the top and shooting it out. So what I did is I went to Home Depot. I got a foot-long threaded rod. I had to drill a hole in the bottom of this, which is a nightmare. I didn't have the right drill bit. I was originally going to make an inverted saucer for the bottom, and that cracked. And so I prayed. I'm like, oh God, I have to have something around here. I don't want to spend more money on this. And I had these corner brackets. It's a 3/4 inch aluminum corner bracket for like making your own canopies and tent covers for like selling at the flea market and stuff. So this is not the 90-degree angle. This is the one that makes the V roof, which I think is probably a better support, but you could probably use the angle brackets. I think brand new, these are like $3.50, $4. Altogether, I think I spent around, this would cost you about $15 to make. So what you want to do is, big problem I've noticed is some people leave the space between this pot and this pot too big. I think it should be around 1 inch. And then the inner pot, which is just a little smaller, also, I don't know if you can see that, needs to be about 1 inch as well. And so, of course, when you make this, you have the bigger pot and then a smaller pot that goes inside. You want to put a spacer, a nut or two in between this one and this one to give it that space. So anyway, I had a lot of reservations about how well this would work. You hear good things, bad things. We have a 10 by 12 foot room that I put this in. I just put, this will hold probably 6 tea lights, but I'm mainly just going to use 4. You can light them and then slide them in there. I think it's easier to go ahead and pull the wicks up and then just light it with something like this. They burn about 4 hours. It was a half an hour before this outer pot got hot, and then say 45 minutes to an hour, it gets really hot. And by putting the holes in the top, it was really amazing. You could feel the heat shooting out of the 3 holes in the top of this. This already came like this at Home Depot. It was the last pot that I found that had the holes in the side there, so it worked out really well. One thing I will caution against my wife is she's very conscientious about everything being healthy and all that. So you might want to get paraffin-free tea lights. They're more expensive. Unfortunately, I have three bags of these normal tea lights. I got them for like $1.50. So this is just an emergency heat source for me, because I live in Colorado and sometimes the power does go out. Not too often, but it did heat the room really well, which I was surprised. This needs to heat an insulated area. You can't put it out in a shed with no insulation and say, geez, it doesn't work. It's the ambient radiant heat. I was really surprised at how well it worked. So that's just about it in a nutshell. I don't know if bigger makes a difference or smaller, but this seems to be the perfect size for that room. I'm going to try it out on one of my canvas tents. I really liked the fact that I used this. It was kind of an accident. I didn't plan on it. Even when this whole thing was really hot, I mean, this thing gets so hot you can't even touch it. Even at its hottest point, I could still pick up this but these stayed cold. And the bottom part, I didn't have the nut going completely down because I didn't want that to get too hot and burn something. But I feel pretty comfortable that you should be okay. That's about all I have on this. It worked really well. So for all the people out there that say, oh, it doesn't work, it did work. I didn't know. The big part, I think, was having the hole near the top to draw the heat out. I mean, it was amazing to feel the heat shooting out of those little things. And it's an ambient radiant heat thing, and it is very cheap. It's not going to be the cheapest. I wanted something in case there's no power. You never know what can happen. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.